Okay, am I audible? Okay, so far we have completed fourth and first module of our syllabus. That is one module from electrical and one module from electronics. And now we are going to the fifth module. That is the second module from electronics. Okay, so the module is about basic electronic circuit and instrumentation. So in the fourth module, we were discussing about basic components like capacitor, resistor, inductor, and diodes, transistor. And in the fifth module, we are going to build circuits using these components. Okay, so the module 5 is about basic electronic circuit and instrumentation. Okay, uh, in this module, what we are going to study is we are going to learn about a rectifier and power supply, and then we are going to learn about block diagram description of DC power supply, working of full wave bridge rectifier, capacitor filter, working of simple Zener voltage regulator. Then we are going to learn about amplifier, block diagram of public addressing system, circuit diagram and working of common emitter amplifier, and concept of voltage divider biasing. Then we have a separate part here, electronic instrumentation. We are just going to learn about block diagram of an electronic instrumentation system. So this module particularly focuses on circuits rather than components. Okay, so in the fourth module of electronics, we were discussing about components, that is resistor, inductor, capacitor, diode, and transistor. But in the fifth module, we are going to discuss about circuits. So using these component, few important circuits we are going to learn. Okay, I think you have already familiarized with what is power supply and what is full wave bridge rectifier. This and all there in your syllabus when you are studying in plus two. Okay, so by the end of this module, you should be able to answer this question: what is a power supply? What is the need of power supply? Elements of a power supply? What is filters? What are regulators? What is a public addressing system? How an amplifier works? Then what is an instrumentation system? Okay, so all electronic circuit need smooth DC power supply in order to function correctly. So take some electronic circuits. Okay, one is mobile phone. So every time we are charging it, so the charge is stored in the battery. So from battery we are getting a smooth DC supply and a remote controller for your TV or anything. So in that also we are using two batteries so that we are getting whenever we want we can easily use that one. And then we have some so it is the case of DC. Okay, we have some table lamp where we will be plugging this to uh, plug point. So the AC is converted to DC, and so the table lamp will work. There are a table lamp which is working on AC also, but there are table lamp which is working in DC. And then we can see that our LED bulbs. So there also we have some circuit, and these bulbs also require smooth DC supply so that the light emits. Like that, there are many circuits. For example, the circuits in your television, the circuits in radio, okay, the circuit in washing machine. Okay, wherever electronic circuits is there, wherever semiconductors are there, at that time we need DC supply, direct current. Okay, so the DC is supplied from battery or power pack unit, or we can use adapters to provide DC supply. Okay, so what is the problem with if you use battery? If you use only battery, we know that electronic toys are there. So when you are using these toys for 2 or 3 days continuously, the battery will drain out. So you need to replace the battery again. So it is not economical. Okay, you may have seen in your childhood, you should have some toys like cars and but some it will make some sound and all. Okay, car, JCB, etc. So when you are keep on operating this for 2 or 3 days, what will happen automatically? The charge will drain and you won't be able to operate it for other days. That means battery is draining. So again, you have to pay some 10 to 15 rupees and buy the battery. So it is not economical. But if you have a charger or some other unit like that, you can charge it and use it. It will be somewhat economical. For example, you just assume that you have to replace battery of your cell phone. It is not a chargeable battery. It is a fixed battery. So and daily you are using it for some 5 to 6 or 10 to 12 hours. So every day if you want to change the battery means it is not economical for you. For every day you have to spend some 50 rupees on that. So most economical method what we are following it now. We are daily charging it and using it. Okay, so we have to make power supply circuits. Regulated power supply, I will tell you what is regulated power supply. So what is a power supply? A device which convert, regulates and transmit the required power to the circuit to be operated. So it is a device which convert, regulates and transmit the required power to the circuit to be operated. So there are sometimes why this word conversion. So I am speaking about general power supply. Okay. So sometimes you need AC supply. So sometimes you will be converting AC to AC. Sometimes you will be converting to AC to DC. Sometimes DC to AC. And sometimes even DC to DC will be converted. So that is about general power supply. Okay, DC to DC. So power supply means it is a circuit which convert, regulate, and transmit the required power to the circuit to be operated. Okay, I will tell you what is regulation after few slides. So we know that what is an AC? AC is an alternating current, so which is having alternate positive and negative half cycle. Okay, it is just look like a sine wave. And DC, we know that it is constant. If you take its magnitude at any interval of time, it will be constant. So in this module, we are speaking about DC power supply. Okay, no need to concentrate on AC or whatever I have explained, AC to AC, DC to DC, nothing like that. We are concentrating on DC supply. We need DC supply to charge a mobile. We need a DC supply to light an LED lamp. We need DC supply to work at table lamp or some other toys. Okay, we need a DC supply to work our LED television, etc. Okay, so they are called DC supply. Okay, let me come to the block diagram of a regulated DC power supply. So if you take one DC power supply, or if you take one charger, what are the elements or what are the circuits in that charger? So basic block diagram of a regulated DC power supply. So every power supply will be having a transformer. Use of this transformer is, you know that when you are using it at your home or industry, if it is a single phase system, we'll be getting 230-volt AC. 230-volt AC. Okay, at your plug point, you know that it is 230-volt. Sometimes it will vary some between some 180 to 240 or 250 like that. It will be keep on varying. It won't be 250 every time, but we are assuming it as 230-volt. The charger or the mobile charger, what you require to charge the mobile phone, is of some 5 volt, 5.1 volt is output. If you check the charger, you can see that the output is some 5.1 volt. So first we need a transformer to convert it from 230 volt to 5 volt. Okay, we need a transformer to convert it from 230 volt to 5 volt. Okay, so with the help of a transformer, what I am doing is 230 volt AC, I am converting it to, so just assume that I am explaining about a mobile charger, okay? I need actually 5 volt output. So assume that using a transformer, I am converting it to from 230 volt to some 6 volt. Okay, so I have used a transformer. So the transformer, what it will do means there are two types of transformers: step up or transformer or step down transformer. So with the help of a step down transformer, what I am doing, I am stepping down 230 volt to some 6 volt. So if you need higher voltage in the DC output, you can use a step up transformer so that the voltage will be stepped up from 230 to some 300 volt. So depends on your application. So what it will do means it will convert your AC at the input lines to a required AC magnitude. So for this example, since I am explaining about a mobile charger, uh, I am converting it to 230 to 6 volt. Here also the cases are same. Whatever available at the input is AC. We can say that it is 50 hertz, and we are stepping it down to some 6 volt. So see the magnitude. Uh, so for this 230 input I have represented with a higher magnitude. For 6 volt, I have reduced the magnitude. That means the transformer will step down the voltage to a lower voltage. Okay, so most of the regulated power supply will be having a transformer. What is the purpose of that transformer? It will step down the voltage, input voltage to a lower magnitude. Then we have a rectifier. So what it will do means it will convert AC available at its input to a DC supply. It will convert AC to DC. So, but it is not pure DC like what I have drawn. The problem is the output of rectifier will be pulsating DC like this. Actually, pure DC means it should come like this. But it is not pure DC, it is a pulsating DC. Okay, I will explain you how pulsating DC and will come and all in the next class. Okay, so it is like something like this. It is not pure DC, it is a pulsating DC. That means, so if you take this AC, if you consider this AC, so this will come, this positive half cycle will come first, and then this negative half cycle will come as positive half cycle in the second position, and it will keep on going like this. So all this negative half cycle will come in the top position so that it will become positive. So it is a DC. It doesn't have a negative polarity. It is having only a positive polarity. So it is a DC supply. So what rectifier will do? Rectifier will convert AC, which is the output of transformer, into DC. And the output of rectifier is actually, as I said, it is not pure DC. It is a pulsating DC. We should remember that pulsating DC. It is not pure DC. Even though it is DC, it is not pure DC. It is a pulsating DC. Then we have filter circuit. This filter circuit will convert this pulsating DC to almost a pure DC. It is not exactly pure DC, but almost a pure DC. You can see that this waveform has changed a lot and it is almost a straight line, but it is not a straight line exactly. So what this filter circuit will do, filter circuit will convert pulsating DC into pure DC. Then we have a regulator. So this regulator will give you constant output voltage, almost like a straight line, irrespective of your load or line. Okay, so this will give you a constant. With the help of a regulator, we are making it as a pure DC, and then we are giving it to load. This load will be maybe our mobile phone, or sometimes LED bulb, or sometimes radio. So that is your load. So it is not a part of our power supply. This is just output of power supply we are connecting to some device. Okay, so if you take basic building block diagram of a regulated power supply, it will be having a transformer. So first, what is the purpose of transformer? It will reduce the magnitude of AC, may reduce or increase. You can tell both. Okay, so it is depends on the application. So in the case of a mobile charger, what it will do means it will reduce the magnitude of AC supply to a lower magnitude, and then we have a rectifier. The output of transformer, which is AC, is converted into DC with the help of a rectifier. But the problem is the rectifier will give you pulsating DC. It is not pure DC. It is a pulsating DC. So we need to convert this pulsating DC into pure DC before applying it to supply or any load. Before supplying it to any load or something. So what I have used is I have used a filter circuit, so that what happens is the pulsating DC is converted into pure DC. Pulsating DC is converted into pure DC. So it has become pure DC. Then we have a regulator. So what this regulator will do means it will give you a constant voltage, constant output voltage. It is almost pure DC, so that you can connect it to a mobile charger or any other application you require, any other circuits you require. Okay, so as I said earlier, it is a circuit which is used to charge mobile phone, but I can say that this is nowadays this is not the circuit which is available in your mobile charger, because the in order to improve the efficiency, in order to reduce the loss, they have improved the circuit a lot, and the circuit inside the mobile charger is different. But you can see this kind of circuit in your radio, the power supply for the radio or any LED light, like that. Okay, so I think you understood what is the basic block diagram of a regulated power supply. So the first one is transformer. So what is the purpose of transformer? It will convert AC of a higher magnitude to a AC of lower magnitude or much more higher magnitude. And then we have rectifier. So what is the purpose of rectifier? Rectifier will convert AC to DC. But problem endana, the DC is in pulse. This is actually pulsating DC. It is not pure DC. Again, why we require a filter? Filter is required to convert this pulsating DC into pure DC, but it is not completely pure, but it is better than the previous one. And then we have a regulator supply. What it will do means it will convert the output of filter into a pure DC, and this output will not change. Okay, so I can say that if you go for the same example as mobile phone charger, as the voltage reduces from 230 to 180 volt, it is charging. Okay, the voltage at the output of mobile charger will not change. It will give you always, if it is 5.1 volt, it will give you 5.1 volt. Even it is 180 volt, even it is 250 volt, even it varies in between this, it will always give you 5.1 volt. So if you use a regulator in the circuit, that will give you a constant voltage, output voltage always. Okay. So that is the use of regulator circuit. Okay, so we will just read it. Transformer. Okay, so AC line voltage available for commercial purpose is not suitable for electronic circuit. Okay, so AC, we can't apply AC to semiconductor devices like transistor, uh, MOSFET, etc. So we need DC for that. That means most of the electronic circuit require considerably lower voltage. Okay, so the chips which is in the electronic circuit commonly require some 5 volt, maximum 12 volt, like that. So it requires a low voltage. So transformer is a device which is used to convert AC line voltage into a voltage level more appropriate to the need of the circuit to be operated. So it is not telling like it is reducing or increasing. The sentence is not like that. It is just telling like it will convert AC line voltage to a voltage level more appropriate to the need of circuit to be operated. So if it requires 5 volt, your transformer will be stepping down to some 5 volt. If your circuit requires some 12 volt, with the help of transformer, you can step it to some 12 volt. If you require some 24 volt, with the help of a transformer, you can step the AC line voltage to some 24 volt. Okay, like that, based on your application, you can step down or step up. So there are cases where you may require some high DC voltage at the output. At that time, you have to step up. Okay, for example, you may have used a mosquito bat. So if you touch between the center net and outer net, you will get shock. That means there is a higher voltage. So that is how it is done. It is the voltage is stepped up. Okay, this is not equal to some 12 volt or 24 volt, because we know that if you touch 24 voltage, we won't get shock. But if you touch that net of mosquito bat, you will get shock. Okay, because it is kept at high potential. So at that time, it is stepping up. Okay, so there are applications where we have to sometimes step down, sometimes we have to step up. So depends on the application. You use a proper transformer or appropriate transformer and keep the required voltage. And one more thing, at the same time, the transformer provides electrical isolation between AC line and circuit to be operated. So there is one more concept. It is not only stepping up or down, it provides electrical isolation. So what is electrical isolation? We have to discuss that. So we know that if you draw a transformer, so it is like this. So this is a symbol of a transformer. So we know that there is a primary winding, there's a secondary winding. Okay. So what happens whenever you are applying an AC supply? So we know that it will not work in DC. So if you apply AC supply to the primary, so it will create flux, and when it creates flux, what will time varying flux? I should say time varying flux depends on the AC supply. So due to the mutual induction theory, the flux will flow from the time varying flux will flow from primary to secondary, and this flux is in contact with a conductor called the secondary winding and induces voltage in the secondary. So the time varying flux will move from primary to secondary and induces voltage in the secondary. So it depends on the winding turns. We know that V1 by V2 is equal to N1 by N2. This is the equation for a transformer. So I can say that V1 into N2 divided by N1 is equal to V2. So by adjusting the number of turns, we can increase or decrease the voltage V2. Okay, നമ്മൾ V1 ഇവിടെ കൊടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. So that is our applied voltage. So then by varying the number of turns, we can adjust the voltage at the secondary. So if you want, you can increase the voltage. If you want, you can reduce the voltage. That you can do. Okay. So what happens is when you are giving a supply to this primary winding, so there is a time varying magnetic field or flux lines are created. So these flux lines will flow to the secondary. Since it is time varying and this conductor is fixed, it will induce voltage in the secondary winding. So what happens? You will be getting output at the secondary winding. Okay, അങ്ങനെയാണ് ട്രാൻസ്ഫോമർ വർക്ക് ചെയ്യുന്നത്. So if you look at this transformer, there is no connection or there is no electrical connection between primary and secondary. അവിടെ ഇലക്ട്രിക് കണക്ഷൻ ഇല്ല. കണക്ഷൻ എങ്ങനെയാണ്? പ്രൈമറിന്ന് ഫ്ലക്സ് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്തിട്ടാണ് സെക്കൻഡറിയിൽ എത്തുന്നത്. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ദർ ഇസ് നോ ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ കണക്ഷൻ ബിറ്റ്വീൻ primary and secondary. So that is one of the advantage, because if any problem or any trouble happens at this point, these points of the circuit, it will not affect the primary because there is no current to flow from primary to secondary. Only flux flows. Okay, it is not connected. Primary and secondary is not electrically connected. So if any trouble occurs at the secondary, it will not affect primary. Similarly, if any trouble occurs at the primary, it will not affect secondary. That is called, it is electrically isolated. There is no electrical connection between primary and secondary. So that is the important point. By using transformer, you have two advantage. One is either you can step up or step down the voltage, or also it provides electrical isolation between circuit. Is it clear for you what is the use of transformer? Clear ആവുന്നുണ്ടോ? Okay. Okay, already ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു. Suppose if anyone asks, okay, AC, the transformer works only in AC. Okay, so is it possible to provide isolation in AC circuit only? നിങ്ങൾ അങ്ങനെ ചോദിക്കുന്നുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ, so I can say that, oh, no, we can provide isolation in DC also. So how we are providing isolation in DC is by using an LED and phototransistor circuit. So this is a component, okay, for optocoupler. This component is called as optocoupler. So a single component. So this is a single component. So here I will give some current. I will give some current, DC current, so that LED will glow. LED will emit light. And this is a phototransistor. When it lies emit, it will reach the base. There is no base terminal for that transistor. When light falls on the base region, it will conduct. It depends on that. It is that is why it is called phototransistor. When light falls on the base region, it will conduct. So here, if you see this component, there is no electrical connection between diode part and transistor part. The connection between diode and transistor is through light. So there is no electrical connection between one side and other side. If any fault occurs this side, it will not affect the input side, because എന്താണ് ഓവർ കറണ്ട് ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായാലും ലൈറ്റ് വഴി അത് ഫ്ലോ ചെയ്യില്ല. കാരണം ഇവിടെ ലൈറ്റ് എന്നുള്ളത് എമിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല ഇവിടെ, അല്ലെ? ഫോട്ടോ ട്രാൻസിസ്റ്റർ ലൈറ്റ് എമിറ്റ് ചെയ്യില്ല. അപ്പം ഓവർ ഷോർട്ട് സർക്യൂട്ട് ഉണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ഈ ഒരു പോർഷൻ ഡാമേജ് ആയി പോകും, അത്രേ ഉള്ളൂ. Similarly, if anything happens this side, this LED will get burnt. It will not affect the transistor part. So that means electrically isolated. So in the case of AC, if you need to provide isolation, you have to use the transformer. In the case of DC, if you want to provide isolation, you have to use optocoupler. So I just told, okay. So by using a transformer, you can provide electrical isolation on, also you can step up or step down DC voltage to a required level. But problem is the output of transformer is still AC voltage, but now of an appropriate magnitude for the circuit to be powered. Okay, so it is still AC voltage, but it is somewhat appropriate level. As I said, if I want uh, 5 volt here, I will be stepping it to some 6 volt. Okay, so by using transformer, I will be stepping down from 230 volt to 6 volt. So that means it is still AC, but it is somewhat closer to the output DC magnitude which we require. Okay. Again, ഞാനൊരു ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ നിങ്ങളോട് ചോദിക്കട്ടെ. What will happen if I apply DC to transformer? What will happen if I apply DC to transformer? Whether it will work, it will give you output voltage. Okay, you have to find out the answer for that. Okay, you have to find out the answer for that. What will happen if I apply DC to a transformer? So we have finished transformer session. Then we have rectifier session. So rectifier, what it will do means it will convert AC voltage into pulsating DC. That you should remember, it is not pure DC, it is pulsating DC. So what is this rectifier actually? Rectifier uses unidirectional conducting device, example PN junction diode. Okay, it just uses diode to convert this AC to DC. So we know that if you take one supply like this, if you consider one AC supply like this, and then you have a diode circuit. So during positive half cycle, what will happen is the diode will conduct. Okay, so this diode will be conducting when it is forward bias, and when it is reverse bias, that is during negative half cycle, it will not conduct. So that is the property, unidirectional conducting device. It will conduct current only in one direction. So rectifier will be having diodes to convert, or with the help of diode, the rectifier circuit will convert AC to DC. So there are different types of rectifier circuit. Rectifier എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ഒരു circuit മാത്രമല്ല, there are different types. Half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Half wave means what will happen? What is the difference between half wave and full wave means? If you have an AC supply like this, I can draw one more cycle. So with the help, if you use a half wave circuit to convert it to DC, you will be getting waveform, output waveform like this. But if you use full wave rectifier, that means okay, if you use half wave rectifier, only positive half cycle which is available in the input will come in the output. All the negative half cycles are left. We are not the output. In the output, the negative half cycle will not be present. Only positive half cycle will be coming in the output. But if you use a full wave, that is why half wave rectifiers are called half wave rectifier. Only positive half cycle is coming, no negative half cycle. So half of the wave is coming, because if you take this has come to this first position, that is first positive half cycle has reached the output, but negative half cycle will not be present in the output. Again, the third positive half cycle will be coming. Again, negative half cycle will not be coming. That means if you take full wave, that means complete one full cycle, only the half of the wave will be present in the output. That is why it is called a half-wave rectifier. But if you use a full-wave rectifier circuit, you will be having both the wave in the output. We will be having positive half cycle and also negative half cycle in the output, but it is in the positive side only. DC ആണ് പോസിറ്റീവ് ഹാഫ് സൈഡിൽ മാത്രമേ അത് വരാൻ പാടുള്ളൂ. So that is the difference between half wave rectifier and full wave rectifier. Okay, so most commonly people will be using full wave rectifier, and in our syllabus we have to learn about in full wave also there are two types, center tap and bridge rectifier. In our syllabus we have to learn only about bridge rectifier circuit. Okay, so bridge rectifier circuit uses 4 diodes to convert AC to DC. Okay, so then we have, as I said, we have just covered transformer and rectifier. Then we have said filter. Filter is not such a big circuit. Normally people will be using a single capacitor, electrolytic capacitor of some higher magnitude or higher value, capacitance value for filtering. And for regulator circuit, we will be using sometimes transistor, sometimes Zener diode. These are different types of diode, or some other circuit for converting the output voltage to a constant DC voltage. Okay, so with this we will end this module. Sorry, class. Today we have learned about power supply, DC power supply. So DC power supply means it will be having a transformer. The purpose of transformer is to convert the input voltage level to an appropriate voltage level, maybe higher or lower magnitude, and also it provides isolation, electrical isolation. So what's the purpose of rectifier? It will convert AC to pulsating DC. There are two types of rectifier, half wave and full wave rectifier. Only half of the wave will be present in the output if you are using a half wave rectifier. Full wave will be present in the output if you use a full wave rectifier. And there are two types of full wave rectifier, center tap rectifier and bridge rectifier. We'll be studying about bridge rectifier in this module. And then we have filter circuit. The output of rectifier is pulsating DC. In order to make it to a pure DC, we are using filter circuit. So after filter, we will be getting pure DC. But in order to make a constant output voltage at the output terminal, especially for mobile charger and all, you require constant output voltage. We are using regulator circuit. So if you use regulator circuit, the output will be constant. It will not be varying if there is a variation in the load or line. So are you all clear with this block diagram? Okay. ഓക്കെ, ജസ്റ്റ് ഓരോ ബ്ലോക്കും എന്താണെന്ന് മാത്രം പഠിച്ചാൽ മതി. ഞാൻ കുറച്ച് ഡീപ്പായിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു പോയിട്ടുണ്ട്. ആ ട്രാൻസ്ഫോമർ എന്തിനാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, റെക്ടിഫയർ എന്തിനാണ് യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്നത്, അതേപോലെ ഫിൽറ്റർ എന്തിനാണ്, റെഗുലേറ്റർ എന്താണ്, അത് ആ ഒരു ബ്ലോക്ക് ഡയഗ്രത്തിലെ ഓരോ ബ്ലോക്കും എന്താണെന്ന് മാത്രം പഠിച്ചാൽ മതി. Okay, attendance, Anas Roshan.
Present, sir.
Anas sir.
Present, sir.
Anugrah.
Present, sir.
Ashwin.
Present, sir.
Yeah.
Present, sir.
Fatima Nada.
Present, sir.
Safa. സഫ, സന,
Present, sir.
ജ്യോതിഷ്,
Present, sir.
കൈലാസ്,
Present, sir.
മുഹമ്മദ് മുവാദ് ഫറൂഖ്,
Present, sir.
നീഹ ഷെറിൻ,
Present, sir.
നിഖിൽ ദാസ്,
Present, sir.
പ്രണവ് രാജ്,
Present.
സായൻ.
Present, sir.
ഓക്കെ, നമുക്ക് ഇനി 4ാമത്തെ അവർ ബാക്കി പോർഷൻസ് ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാം.